Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel, and if you are new here, thank you for clicking to watch today's video. And whether it was the title or the thumbnail that you have seen, I'm hoping you enjoy the content. And of course, if you have come back because you're a regular or a subscriber, thank you as always for tuning in, and I'm hoping you have been absolutely amazing. You know, I'm already gonna say, especially for those of you who come back and watch and haven't subscribed, I mean, you obviously like what you see, so please be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, but most importantly, leave a comment. Like, let's get to talking in the comment section below. I'd love to hear how you guys have been, and what are your thoughts for this autumn season as well? Are you looking forward to it, or are you wishing for summer to come back already? Now, we're gonna keep the intro semi-short and sweet because this is gonna be a chatty video, so it is a get ready with me because I'm coming up to like 1.5 years on YouTube now. It'll be like 2 years in January, and you guys get to see a little bit of me in my vlogs, but the reality is we haven't really had like an intro. Do you really know who I am? You know what I do, kind of. But yeah, I thought it'd be nice to actually do a get ready with me Q&A, so we can sit down, chat, I can answer some of your questions, and you can get to know the person behind the camera a little bit more. To that point, do watch my vlogs because obviously that is more so my day-to-day, but I'm really happy to finally be doing this video. Now, as I mentioned, it is gonna be a little bit of a long one. I say that and I haven't edited, but I'm anticipating it will be. So get comfy with your snacks, your drink, whether it's your apple juice, your wine, your Henny, however you're feeling, get comfortable and let's get into the rest of the video. I know this is supposed to be a get ready with me, but the reality is I feel like if I sat here and did my whole makeup look and tried to do this Q&A, would be here forever. And I do actually just want to focus on the questions. So I've kind of done my base. I am going to touch up some bits of my base, and I'm going to do my eyes, my lips, and I think that will be it. So I've got my questions on my phone. And let's get into it. I've got this palette from Juvia's place. I'm so late to this bandwagon, but this is Chocolit, the Chocolates by Juvia's. This is actually primarily going to be a Fenty, like Fenty items that I'm going to use, but obviously there's other bits as well. First question I've got is super sweet. It says, well, I'll try and put it on the screen as well. Why are you so drop dead gorgeous? I love the way you carry yourself and how you treat the people around you. Sorry this wasn't a question, but you can still try answering it, and I thought that was really, really lovely. Something I would say that's quite interesting is I haven't always been someone that takes well to like taking compliments. Sometimes accept the compliment. Like, people wouldn't say if they didn't mean it most of the time. And also, I'm also someone that's like been on a whole journey of self-love, so I just say that to say it's really sweet when people say things like that. And I know it's so cliche, it'll probably be like, yeah, of course, but honestly, I really appreciate it. I really, really do appreciate when people leave sweet comments like that. I love the way you carry yourself and how you treat the people around you. Now, again, of course, it's not a question, but to touch on that, I think that's very much down to my upbringing. Both my parents, but especially my mum, is someone that I've seen time and time again how she's like really selfless with her friends and families, and just I say families, friends and family, and the people around her that she just considers to be loved ones. And even when it hasn't always worked in her favor, she's definitely someone that has just kind of like taken that in her stride. And I feel like with regards to treating people from when we were young, so my siblings and I, she's always been very, very, both of them, my mum and dad, they've always been very, how would I say, they've put a lot of emphasis on how we treat each other as siblings, how we treat each other as a family. And I guess us being first generation, they've also really instilled the whole idea of like how we treat our teachers and people like that around us, people who may be in position of authority, so to speak. Now, don't get me wrong, I say that as well, but they've equally taught us not to, you know, let anyone push us over, like make sure we speak up when necessary and things like that. But I just say with regards to treating people, that whole idea or the notion of like, it doesn't cost anything to treat people nicely, that is definitely something I would say they have instilled in us from young. I've just taken the second to darkest palette, color of the palette, and just like doing around my eyes and taking this one just in the center. I do have my P. Louise base, but I'm just going for something really casual today, so no need to kind of do any cut crease or stuff like that. I'm just adding a bit of light to the center. With regards to strangers, it just doesn't cost anything. I've said in my vlogs actually recently, Even when like Bay and I go out, there was one particular time where we went to Wagamama's, and the guy just made a point of being really like just showing a lot of gratitude about us, asking about his day and how he was. And to me, that's like, well, to both of us, but of course just speaking of myself, that's just like second nature. We're all humans. It really, like, I mean, you cross my lane, I'm gonna cross yours too, but for the most part, like, it just doesn't cost anything. It's no extra energy to be nice to people. So that's why I treat people the way I do. I treat people the way I would want people to treat my family when they're out and about, like my mom. I would never want someone to address her some type of way just because she's older, or just because she's black, or just because she's, do you know what I mean? So things like that. And with the way I carry myself, this is a double-edged sword, to be honest, for me. I'm gonna go with my eyeliner, but I know it's gonna take me extra long because I'm talking and trying to do it. So I'm just gonna get up a mirror as well. With the way I carry myself, I'm very conscious of other people. This is something that my partner has mentioned to me as well. Not a negative, but it definitely can work against me sometimes, where I'm almost too conscious about what other people think or have to say about me. And being in a social space and getting older, this is something I've definitely worked on, and it's not as bad. But I'm definitely the sort of person where I'm always thinking about what people might think when they meet me. And not in a sense of, oh my gosh, are they judging me? But just being sure that any interaction I have, be it with you guys or just anyone day to day, just making it a positive interaction. Again, that can be very dependent on the person you're interacting with, but I'm sure you get my drift when I say that. I feel like having an older brother, let me know if you can relate. I'm always thinking, who's out and about on these streets? Let me make sure they ain't got no news to take back to the family. So yeah, that is something I'm conscious of. But as I mentioned, like my partner and I have spoken about it, sometimes I can be like like, I don't know you people, you're strangers to me. Like, I don't need to be so caught up in what people think. But it can work in a positive way, because sometimes you cross people's paths and you don't know, but they see you and they acknowledge you and they make it like a mental note. So yeah, that can work in your favor as well. I actually think it would be a skill to be able to do your eyeliner and talk. It's not a skill I've got, so I'm just gonna do this. I love a winged liner. I don't do anything else. A dark black, like jet black wing liner. This one is from Elf. I think it's like the jet black or super black or something like that. Okay, that's one eye done. I like it like chunky because of the way I put my lashes on as well. And I kind of have like hooded eyes, I think you would say is the best word for them. So I have to be like cautious of how it looks. And I defo don't go all the way in because my eyes are small as it is. I don't know why my shoulders are all hunched up, but let me just do what I gotta do. Okay, for the most part, that is my eyeliner done. How long do you plan on doing YouTube? Do you have the same amount of subscribers in the UK as in the US? So thank you for that question, of course. I'll actually start with the first part. What I will say is, YouTube is something I genuinely enjoy. I say that hand on my heart, like I truly enjoy doing YouTube. I really enjoy doing content. I think now as well, like my partner and I, we do it together. So it's a great outlet for me, creatively, just the execution of ideas, thinking about things, the way I film, the way I edit, like just growing and learning in that space. I have spoken about this before, that YouTube is something I used to do. I'm just gonna go in with my Morphe. Actually, I'm just gonna clean up my contour a bit and then I'm gonna go with my Morphe. I'm actually gonna take the eyeshadow palette. I do have a concealer stick from Morphe, but I'm gonna go in with the palette and just touch on the darkest one, just to kind of accentuate that, because I have already put some of the cream base underneath. But yeah, so I really enjoy YouTube, and I feel like, as I mentioned, I used to do it years ago. This is something I've spoken about in previous videos. I used to do it years ago. I kind of stopped because I just lost like the zest and the love for it. And that's something I made a promise to myself to say, if I get to that stage where I just don't enjoy it anymore, let it go, sis. So I did. Coming back to it now, it's obviously very different to what it was years ago. Like I'm talking, I started like maybe 7 years ago originally. It was very, very different. But what I will say is I'm grateful for growth. I'm grateful for being in a space where I just have a newfound love for it. And I don't foresee myself stopping anytime soon, just because, as I said, it really is a creative outlet for me. As long as you guys will welcome me here, as long as I have the capacity and the energy to do it, I will keep at it. You have the same amount of subscribers in the US as the UK. Now, you US guys, you know I love you. I absolutely adore you. And I will say, from the numbers I've checked pretty recently and consistently, the majority of my subscribers and viewers are from the US, which I find insane. Like, it's so amazing to know that my content can like transcend barriers geographically. Like, you guys still vibe with my videos. I'm obviously a UK girly, you would know that already. But yeah, the majority of my viewers are actually in the US. Like, you do take up the majority portion, and then I think the UK is next. But I had someone reach out to me to say they watch me from Singapore. Like, what does that even mean? I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. And I know, again, it's probably such a cliche thing you hear time and time again, but I will say it from me to you. I honestly couldn't do what I do without you guys watching me, without you interacting, commenting, liking, all of that stuff. And I know I always say it in my videos anyway, like, share, comment and that stuff, but it always blows my mind to know that we're growing as a family here, that I have people that watch me in different areas. Even when I meet people here in the UK and they come up to me, they're like, oh my gosh, I watch your content. Like, what does that mean? I'm just gonna take a small brush and actually just pat the middle of my nose. Again, as I said, I've pretty much done the majority of my base, and I am gonna go in with the Morphe to kind of like just set everything. This is the Fenty blotting, Invisimatte Universal Blotting Kit. It's so good, guys. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and just like literally go down my nose, just so it's not as shiny. Just the tiniest of bits. Next question. Do you think you will change your style to capture a new audience? Meaning buying different clothes, trying styles that's not my liking, I think, but giving taste on different looks. So essentially, will I change up my style? What I will definitely say is my being on YouTube and doing content that's like style based and all of that stuff is definitely something that I started doing before I stopped that initial time. And I will say the older I've gotten, I've of course kind of, oh, sorry guys, I'm using the Fenty Beauty. This is the shade Nutmeg, the Pro Filter Powder. Just again to kind of go around my face before I go in with the Morphe, because the Morphe is like more, almost like closer to my color, so I'll use that to set. But yeah, so doing fashion YouTube, I feel like it's a different ball game now than it would have been some time ago. Guys, I also don't have setting spray, so I gotta go easy on the powder. What I will say is I wouldn't change my style to get more subscribers or more viewers, because again, as cliche as it sounds, that obviously wouldn't be me. Like, that's not my style. What I will say is I'm very much in a space now where I'm open to like trying different brands, which you guys will see. I've mentioned this again in a vlog recently, that I'm really enjoying trying like higher quality brands, different brands that I just haven't really been using before. And that, I guess, inadvertently means that my style will change slightly, but I wouldn't say it would change, it's more so developing. I don't see anything changing too drastically. Obviously, the older I get, the more I might like certain things, I might put certain things away. But I think I'm at that phase where I'm trying different things. So naturally, that will bring about new subscribers, new viewers, which I'm not mad at all. But I think for those of you that have been with me already, and those of you who are kind of used to me, used to my style, you already know what it is. I am a very neutral babe. I love my basics. I love my neutral colors, tones. Silhouette is something that I would say I focus most on. So I love looking and thinking about how to put things together, how it's gonna look on my shape as my body changes, things like that. So I feel like from a style perspective, that's almost like me. That's part of my DNA. It just is what it is. But I will obviously, as someone who's into fashion, try different things at different points. I feel like that's just how it is. I wouldn't change to capture a new audience. I would just keep on developing, keep on trying different things. I know I said I didn't do this in any particular order, but this is probably one that maybe I should have touched on first, so apologies. But it's a few questions in one. Where are you from originally? So we'll start with that. I am originally Nigerian. Yoruba to be specific, or to be exact. Well, it's Yoruba dear, but it's one of them ones where I was born and raised in the UK. But my mum and dad speak it at home. When I was growing up, I used to watch like Nollywood, watch films with them. Major key, any of you who are trying to learn certain languages, watch films, series, shows, throw the subtitles on, you will get it in no time. I know there's so many apps and stuff, but I feel like that's really what helped me when I was younger. So yeah, I am a Nigerian babe. As I said, I can speak the language small, but naturally so when I speak it, you can kind of clock my accent. Like, listen, to my joke, nibi ba ti mo fe so Yoruba, Emma Mokwe, okay, mule so, but the accent is there, and I'm gonna have to throw in a few words in English so you actually know what I'm talking about, things like that. But I don't think it's something that I really get to showcase on my channel, even when I'm doing my vlogs. So I appreciate that question, at least you guys know now. Have you lived outside of the UK for any amount of time? I love this question because it makes me think about my time in uni, just going in with the Morphe palette. This is Filter 15, it's their finishing powder. Now again, as I said, I don't have setting spray, so I'm gonna just go in sort of semi-lightly with this. Yes, it reminds me of a good time in my uni years where I lived in Madrid. So I lived in Madrid for just over a year, ended up actually working out there. I used to basically be like an au pair and a tutor to a little girl. Amazing family, honestly. I feel like angels on earth. So grateful for crossing paths with them and just that experience as a whole. And my time in Madrid was absolutely fantastic. Like, I'm one of those people who are definitely an advocate for doing a year abroad if you can. I don't feel like the UK is encouraging it as much. Like, I don't really think it's a thing too tough, which is a shame. But if at any point in your life you are presented with the opportunity to live abroad, do it. Like, I can't say that enough. You have to go for it. I'm gonna go with my Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami to bring some warmth to the face. And I'm not gonna lie, as a black girl, obviously, there were some looks, like I would be on their metro and stuff, there would be some looks, but no one ever troubled me like that. If anything, I've always said, like, my racial encounters have always been in the UK, which is crazy, but it is what it is. But yeah, it was really lovely. Like, the family I ended up working with were amazing. Made friends out there. I'm not fluent in Spanish, which is probably the biggest regret I have out of everything, but I do understand it well enough, I think, to navigate. Obviously, I was there for a year. Where would you live if you could move anywhere else in the world? Now, even though I've lived in Madrid, yeah, I actually would do it again. I don't know if it would be Madrid or just Spain in general. I don't think I could do Nigeria because, just to be honest, the stress out there, I beg, like, even in the UK here is enough. To go and add to it, I don't know about all that. I know Dubai is hot on people's lists for obvious reasons. Like, well, I say obvious reasons, maybe not obvious. Let's say for like tax and money and things like that. I actually don't know if I genuinely could live anywhere. Like, I can imagine doing 6 months, a year, then coming back to the UK, which is crazy because the UK is the ghetto. I'm going in with this blush from Sephora. I've had this for yonks now. I managed to replace it and then I haven't found it again. I think it's called Oh My Gosh, number 10. We're just gonna go in right on the cheeks. It is very pink, as you can probably see, but I love it. I'm just gonna dust off some excess and then, like, just pat it in again, tip of the nose and whatnot. I don't know if I could live anywhere else. I feel like I'm a UK girl. I love it here. It is super expensive. Yes, I will say that for free, but ultimately, home is where the heart is. Like, I always make sure that I'm close enough to, like, be in touch with family and stuff, so you probably wouldn't find me on the other side of the world. But yeah, I think the UK for now. I can't imagine myself anywhere else. But speaking of, again, Madrid and living there, absolutely fantastic. The food, the culture, the people, like, the best vibes ever. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever experienced. Next question, what is your day job? How old are you? Okay, we'll pause there because it's 3 questions. So my day job, I don't know if this is something I have mentioned to you guys. I did mention it in a vlog. I work in academia, so I am a lecturer. How old am I? Now, for the sake of my job, I won't say my exact age, but I will say I'm late 20s. And it's so crazy because I feel like the natural reaction I always get to that is, huh? My students look at me as well. They know I'm relatively young, but I have to say I'm so grateful for what I do. First time ever that I'm in a role where I can understand why people say sometimes you work and it doesn't feel like working. And I love it there. Absolutely love it. My eyebrows are microbladed, by the way, so I'm just going in with a pencil on it very lightly, then I go in with like powder, but I'm not gonna do too much. So yeah, I absolutely love my job. I really thought academia was something I was gonna go into later in life. So with that being said, I'm so grateful for the opportunity and the blessing essentially that it is. So yeah, that's my age, that's what I do. And then the second part or third part to the question is, if you could be an animal, what animal would you be? For those of you who watch my vlogs, you know I've recently got a dog. So I have a puppy. She literally just turned 5 months old the other day, and she's a big girl. She's definitely a big girl. And honestly, before I would say, oh, you know, I would love to be like something in the cat family, like maybe a jaguar or a black panther. This was pre-Wakanda. I still wanted to be a black panther. I would say I want to be a dog. I want to be a dog. Like, they play, they poop, they're loved on, they love you, you love them. They play, poop, eat, sleep, and just call it a bloody day. And I just think that's fantastic. What more do you need in this life? So yeah, I would look and say a dog. Now, the reason I kind of go in with my brows a little more with the pencils because it's slightly lighter and I pull it in a little bit more. When I did get my eyebrows microbladed, this is something we discussed, like we did kind of leave it as is, so it gives me a bit more freedom to do what I want to do. But yeah, I just go in kind of like that, literally just following the shape of my brows. And I don't really do too much past that. So I'm just gonna kind of feather it out, just blend it a bit more. And we'll make sure we're gonna make sure we're twins, because I know people say sisters, not twins, but hunty, we're gonna try and make sure they're twins, okay? And because the pencil is a bit waxy, I literally just go in with any dark sort of brown powder. So I'm just gonna go back to the palette, and I'm actually gonna take the darkest one just there. And I'm literally just gonna go into the tail of the eyebrow just to kind of set it and make it a little bit darker. Just like that, and then I just kind of pull it out and down. And then whatever's left on the brush, I just kind of like run through the brow as well to, again, kind of set it and push the hairs a little bit back up. Another thing I think I forgot, I can't see it right here, is I usually have like a eyebrow setting gel, but that's okay, that's cool. We're gonna be all right. Next question, what is my biggest insecurity? And I feel like this obviously wasn't planned. I am just doing these questions in a random order, but I feel like it's quite ironic that I'm touching on my eyebrows right now. And I'll definitely say one of my biggest insecurities were my eyebrows. Again, very superficial, very, very superficial, but I would say it was my eyebrows and my skin, as in my complexion. My complexion, I feel like, is something I've worked on for years now. So I'm at a stage where I can go out and about without makeup, without, well, we ain't gonna be ashy, stay moisturized, but I can go out without makeup and just feel free and really comfortable in my skin, which is something that hasn't always been the case. And that's something that I've acknowledged took a lot of growth, a lot of unlearning and learning and just like loving on myself. And a lot of people kind of question, like, friends and family when I've spoken to them about this, like, how did it come about? It's definitely something I was teased about when I was younger. My family have always made me feel loved. I remember, like, even my older brother's friends would always make me feel like beautiful and like, you're amazing, your complexion, da 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 da. But that's when you realize that things like that are very much internal. Regardless of what everyone says to you, if you don't feel it inside, you kind of just harbor those feelings or that emotion. So my complexion is definitely something that used to be an insecurity. My eyebrows were also, because girl, I had no eyebrows. And it's like dealing with my complexion and then dealing with no eyebrows, it was a double whammy. I literally looked like a thumb, but my eyebrows are microbladed. Take it as you may. That is one thing I decided to fix because I could. But my skin is something that, I mean, I practically have the same complexion as my mom. Again, not to be like cliched and stuff, but that's something I knew I had to love about myself. Naturally, if like I am blessed to have a little girl, like, and she's my complexion, like I want her to love that. So it wasn't something I was gonna change, like, God forbid. But my eyebrows, I was like, yeah, we're gonna sort that out. So I got them microbladed, but my skin is just something I've grown to love over time. And I feel like now, because it was a personal thing, y'all can't shake me. I will love my skin regardless. I'm going to stick on my lashes because I'm practically done. I'm gonna stick on my lashes and then I'm going to line my lips and then we're gonna put on some glosses. These Fenty products that I've been using are just top tier, top tier. I don't know why I took so long to like get some more products from hers, but I used to use the foundation and when it ran out, I just kind of left it. But now we're back, honey. So I'm really loving the complexion products, which is absolutely no surprise. Next question, how do you manage both YouTube channel and work? Is it easy? No, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, it is not easy. And I'm not even someone that works full-time technically. As I mentioned, I work in academia, so naturally so, if you've gone to uni or higher education, you know it's very much like timetabled. And even though I teach different courses and modules, I don't work 5 days a week most times. And that's something that even when I worked, because I probably should say I haven't always worked in academia. I used to work in finance actually. Just using my duo lash glue. When I worked in finance, as great as it was and as much as I was trying to progress and whatever, I made a conscious decision to basically take down my hours so I could dedicate more time to content and just other elements of my life and other things I wanted to do. It isn't easy. If you work full time and you don't have the capacity to reduce your hours, I will tell you now, it's going to take a lot of discipline and a lot of how would I say, like burning the midnight oil. Like you're going to work hours outside of your usual hours. It's just a given. Especially if you're like me and you edit your content and everything by yourself, it can really get tedious. I've upped my uploads to twice a week now, which literally means I have to record and edit and all of that stuff. Vlogs are a bit easier because it's literally me just recording my life, but it's not easy, but it's doable and it gets easier with time. The more you build a routine, like for me, when I was working full hours, I would say, okay, Friday is my recording day. Regardless, I would dedicate that time. If it meant not going out, it is what it is. I'll dedicate that time and that's the time that I record. And then I would say maybe Sunday is my time to edit. If you want any information, I know I would have put the question on screen, but if any of you want more information, DM me, leave me a comment to let me know. Maybe tips that I have. But I would definitely say organization is key and dedicating time to creating content is the only way to make it work. Where are you from originally? How old are you? So I've touched on that already. Omo Street. What do you do for your normal job and do you see yourself becoming a full-time content creator? So again, I've touched on the first part of that question. Full-time content creator. I would be lying if I said no. I don't see myself becoming a full-time content creator, but I wouldn't say no at the opportunity if it arose, because for me, full-time content creating wouldn't just be doing YouTube. It would be doing work for other brands. It would be doing YouTube. It would be doing business with other people, business for myself. It's bigger than what you guys would see, and it's bigger than what I would put my name or my face on. I don't know if you guys acknowledge, but there's a lot of content creation you can do that doesn't actually involve you as a person, as in visually, like your likeness, but you can be doing work in the background for other brands. So yeah, I would definitely do it from a creative perspective and the sort of person I am. Like, I love to have a creative outlet, so I'll be more than happy. With the way I enjoy it now, I'd be more than happy to do it full time, but equally I love teaching. I love lecturing, so I'd probably find a way to do both. If you like my lashes, even though I'm getting the second one on, I do have an Amazon storefront. So if you have any interest in like products that I use like really, really regularly and just like lashes and things like that, I do get it all off Amazon, so be sure to check. I'll put the link in the description box. It'll be there from now on, so you can have a look at that as well. Okay, lashes on. What's your favorite part of being a content creator? And what's your favorite clothing haul to do? Okay. I would say favorite part of content creation, it's literally neck and neck. I would say definitely the meeting and interacting with people, yourselves, other content creators, like things like that. I do get quite anxious sometimes when it comes to like meeting new people or events and things. But I have to say, the joy I get when someone approaches me and says, oh my God, I've seen your content, or oh my God, I know, like what? And I think, like for some people that's like, oh, so what, you like being noticed, or like that sort of like fame element, which is far from it. But no, it's just being able to do something creatively, like put my energy into something and have people outwardly like appreciate it and watch it and like it. What? So I would say that is definitely a big one. And the second thing is, as I've mentioned kind of through this video already, just the creative element, like being able to conceptualize things, like sit down and come up with an idea and actually see it come to fruition. That is, I guess it comes partly with what I've just said about meeting you guys as well. That aspect of being able to put my energy and work into something and just actually seeing it happen is absolutely amazing. So I would say those two. My favorite clothing haul to do, I feel like you guys would anticipate that I'm gonna say Zara, but if I'm honest, I don't know, you know. I don't actually think I just like doing clothing hauls because I like shopping. I like shopping. Zara is fun because Zara always has like different stuff, but your girl just likes shopping, so that's a bit of a hard question. I'm just going back into the powder and dusting my lips. If I had to group it all together, I actually really enjoy doing or like coming across new brands, and sometimes that can come in a way of like brand deals or just me like finding new brands. But the reason I say that is because it's always a really nice surprise when you find a new brand and you try it and it's amazing. So I would say that. Okay guys, so last bit that I'm gonna do is my lips. I do want to talk about these products really, really quickly. It's not sponsored, I promise, but even if it's sponsored, sometimes support your girl, right? But it's not sponsored. So I usually go with my Kiko lip liners. But the star of the show today is gonna have to be these Fenty heat balms, like these heat lip glosses. I've got it in the color Fussy and Hot Chocolate. My gosh, I love the Hot Chocolate, so that's what I'm gonna use today as I kind of round up the rest of this video. But it is a get ready with me. So actually, let me get changed, guys. Let me get changed, and then we'll literally do the last like 2 or 3 questions in my outfit. So we'll be back. Okay. Okay guys, so I will do the cutaway of my outfit so you can actually see what I'm wearing, but I'm wearing this gorgeous cardigan from H&M. This was such a good find because I actually really wasn't anticipating it was going to be as nice as it is, but let's get into it. So I'm going to line my lips. This is a lot of questions again. So have you looked for a new apartment for you and your doggy? So that's Nomi, my puppy, as I mentioned. Will you be doing any get ready with me on makeup and clothing? Will you have more showings of your sister? Do you buy other high-end jewelry from other sites? Thanks, love seeing your channel. Love you for watching. First things first, so looking for an apartment, that is definitely something I'm in the process of doing. It is a very long process and it just involves so much. So yeah, that is actively happening. There's honestly not much more I can say past that, but it will happen eventually. And when it happens, you guys will definitely know. So it wouldn't just necessarily be for me and Nomi, but it would just be because I just need more space and that's something I want for myself. Get ready with me, like makeup and clothing. If that's something you guys want to see, I am more than happy to do it. Even if it means just like including it here and there. Yeah, that is something we can do. Will I have any more showings of my sister? Showing my friends is one thing, showing my family is another. And you have to remember that this is other people in their lives as well. So I'm always very conscious about making sure that people around me know that, okay, if we're doing something, I am gonna record, I'm gonna vlog, are you happy to be on my YouTube channel? And not to say that my sister or my family have said no, but that's just a little piece of me that I want to not protect, but it's just not for the internet. Like, I know my mum would love to be on YouTube, that's the funniest thing, but yeah, I would rather not. And I would say my sister is actually a bit more of a private person, so she probably wouldn't want to be on and everywhere like that. Not to say we couldn't do like a video in the future or something like that, but for the most part, that's probably a no. It's the same thing with like my partners. Like, it's not that I'm hiding them, you know they exist, but it's just if they're there, they're there, and if they're not, they're not. But I would rather actively protect that part and make sure that they don't feel uncomfortable with those things. Do I buy any other high-end jewelry from other sites? So this is a great question, and this is an interesting part for me to try and talk and do my lips as well. So let me just line this super quickly. As you can see, I did line my lip with 3 different colors. Yes, I did. But honestly, guys, it lasts the whole day. It really does. And this is actually an eyebrow pencil, but we won't get into that. High-end jewelry, so that's a great question and very timely. So you guys probably may have seen that I did do content for Mejuri. Like, I went to get my ears pierced, which you can kind of see there. Love my earring stack. So I do indeed purchase from some high-end stores. So Mejuri is one, Monica Vinader is another. I do source some of my jewelry pieces like from more like, how would I say, boutique brands, so some smaller stores. Sometimes I get jewelry from back home, so I do have like a plethora of different places that I get jewelry from. But everything is in the description box. But if you do want to know more, I think I have a video coming up, or that should have come out already. So I'll put it in the cards, or that will be coming out soon. This question made me laugh, and probably one that's good for towards the end. So I'll skip that one for just a second. This one here, what was your worst day ever? Boo. I don't want to finish on this one, so I said let me do this one first. Going in with hot chocolate. Guys, look at that. Be careful with this because it is a heat plumping gloss, so it will be tingling on the lips. Yo, this color. Okay, that's enough, Racheal. Worst day ever, I would say. I've had bad days, but one that actually came to the top of my mind was when I was in uni, and I basically had worked up all this energy, all this time, all this effort, as you can imagine, done a foundation year because I wanted to study midwifery. So I wanted to be a midwife, and long story short, I got through to like the final stage of interviews and they told me no. Now, for someone who's very academic, someone who's very much into their studies, I mean, I'm a lecturer now, like I love academia. This was something that knocked me because I was so used to being able to work towards something and kind of get an end result, like kind of get a yes. And this was the first time that I felt like I put a lot of effort into something that didn't go my way. Good life lesson, but at the same time, I felt so taken aback because it was like, well, what do I do now? I'm not getting into uni. What's my next port of call? Like, I was so lost that I just remembered the heightened emotions I felt on that day. Just getting rid of excess gloss. I remember the heightened emotions I felt on that day. And that's something that stuck with me till today. This was years ago now, but that's something that still stuck with me because I think it just taught me to be a bit more resilient, to think about what my options are, to really look at what my skill set is, what are the different things I'm capable of doing. Every season for a reason, as I always say, but I do remember that being one of the worst days. And I know people go through worse. This is not to compare, but for me, I just remember how I felt, and so is something that came to the top of my mind. My boyfriend literally always laughs at me when I draw my beauty spots, but I actually do have one under my eye. It just always gets covered, so there. Anyway guys, so this is my finished look, but for the final question, please give me pickup lines that always work. Now, obviously, before you even think of the pickup line, you just have to have the energy and the source. Like, you have to believe you are the bee's knees. You have to believe that even if you miss your shot, it worked out for the better. Pickup lines. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I can think of no pickup lines from the top of my head, but I actually think if you come with the right source, you can come with some super cheesy lines. Like, what did the guy say? Like, oh, are you tired? You've been running through my mind all day. Oh my God, did you fall from heaven? Oh no, what is it? That looked like it hurt. What did when you fell from heaven? Or tell a joke. Tell a really cheesy joke. If you watch the Receipts podcast, you know Audrey is always telling jokes. Sometimes tell a joke and just make them laugh. I'm just saying. Don't think about the lines because then it sounds too rehearsed. Even that you could use to your own advantage, but I would say it's about confidence, you know, not to be cliched. Have some confidence, have some vim, have some, you know, je ne sais quoi. Aha, hey, are you a tall glass of water or am I just thirsty? That was actually horrible, but again, it's all about the delivery. Confidence and delivery, guys. I think we'll leave that as that. Anyway guys, so that was my Q&A and I'm hoping you guys have enjoyed it. Shout out to my Fenty beauty products. Again, not sponsored, but I've just been really enjoying my new purchases. And I hope you like what you saw all together. If you do want a more in-depth actual process, like beginning to end of my makeup or like a get ready with me, do let me know. And I'll be more than happy to do that because, you know, again, kind of like the question before, whilst I'm not trying to change my content for new audiences, I'm definitely all for developing and just trying new things. I don't want to box myself in. As a creative, we don't do them things. Do let me know what your thoughts were. If you have any more questions, let me know. I know this was a get ready with me. Shout out to Belle, she does her tipsy talk. Like if you want that sort of vibe, let me know. I'm more than down to do different things. If you have reached the end, leave a white heart in the description. I said description box, comment section. Y'all can't put anything there. Leave a white heart in the comment section to let me know you've reached the end of the video. Thank you as always for tuning in. I'm hoping you know me that little bit much more. I hope to see you in my next video every Wednesday and Sunday, 7 p.m. That's Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. I hope to see you there. stay well, stay blessed. Good vibes only, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.